So my friend Wes is a big Fire Emblem fan, and for years now he's been trying to get me into the series, but I've never really bitten, up until he let me borrow his Switch a year ago, and I got to experience Fire Emblem Three Houses for myself. It was an amazing game. I had a lot of fun playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and as a Persona fan, it was really accessible to me, and I realized that there were a lot of parallels between the two games that made the transition easy enough for me as an outsider. And from that point on, I've been wanting to get my hand on another Fire Emblem game that scratched the same itch. After defeating my second playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses with the Claude route, the best route, obviously, Wes introduced me to Dark Deities. Now, this was about 2 months ago after he had taken a break from the channel. He was very motivated by the team of people behind the game. In his own words,
it is made by a small group of college friends, and it's going to be releasing. It was big on a Kickstarter. I've been following the development in this game. I'm super excited for it, and I just respect people that are just coming up with something, and it's I have a lot of respect for them, and so I'm just hyped for the game, the characters and everything.
So we decided to start covering the game on the channel. Specifically, we started talking about the characters that were going to be featured in the game. The game is already out if you don't know. It's available on Steam right now for purchase. I would highly recommend you go purchase it and try it for yourself. But beforehand, I wanted to ask Wes whether or not he was satisfied with the end product that he received. As a longtime Fire Emblem fan, I felt he was a lot more qualified than I was to speak on the mechanics of the game, its systems, and the characters, and any other aspects he might want to commentate on. Without any further ado, how you doing, man? How you doing, Wes? How you doing today?
I'm chilling. I'm excited to talk about Dark Deity today.
Yeah, I'm glad you're excited. Why don't you tell us your first impressions after playing it on stream a couple days ago?
Well, for my first impressions on Dark Deity, having just been the first 2 chapters, I really like the armor and weapon advantage system. I think the fact that it's scaled within the game, within masteries, is really cool. I honestly feel like it's a better, it's a step up from the triangle system, the weapon triangle system in Fire Emblem, because it kind of, if you break it down, it just feels like rock, paper, scissors, and it always stays the same. But with the fact that over the course of the game, advantages can increase, is something that's really cool, and it's something that you always have to keep in mind. And it's honestly something that feels like you have to think way much more about than you think about the triangle system, the weapon triangle system. Haste and Face particularly are really fun skills because of just for the different things you could do. Being able to use those skills gives all of those units a very good feel, and leaves them all with a good impression on just how they play. I kind of like how the characters are way much more durable and sort of feel different, along with the armor system. Clerics, for example, in Fire Emblem are really sort of straightforward. They're heal bots, but Marin isn't just that. She can fend for himself, or else she could fill in that heal fantasy, and I think she does more to give off the vibe of a healer cleric type character, or a healer cleric in a different light. I'm glad that they kind of expanded that fantasy of the character, because clerics have just been, I guess, heal bots throughout the entire series, so I'm glad that she has way much more options that she can do. She can be tanky when it comes to advantages. She can deal damage. She has her own weaknesses. And she was just a very fun unit to use. I'm glad that they took a cleric and then moved past what a cleric is supposed to be in Fire Emblem, and it made their very own thing within Dark Deity. And the other 2 characters feel that way. The fact that you have a subset of weapons that you stick with, but you have to choose which one, is really cool. So I like the options of using the best weapon for the best situation. Sometimes I need to hit really hard. Sometimes I need a dodge sting. Sometimes I need a double hit. And the options that you have for your weapon always being there is fun, and I look forward to upgrading them and seeing how it expands. Chapter 2 also had very good map design. I like the fact that you're sort of tunneled in, but you have an option to choose which side you want to go down. And there's mini bosses there too, with the 2 powerful units down in the right. So I think so far they have really good map design. I heard some things later down the line, but I really was impressed by Chapter 2, and I feel like it's a map I can honestly replay differently every single time. Maybe next time I'll go to the left. I like that you have it sort of on the first chapter. Right after the first chapter, you already have a different map condition, which is cool. That there's just sort of way to throw the player in there. And I understand that a tutorial will be needed for different players, and because I was willing to explore those systems, I got it. I was rewarded for it, and you could use those skills to make Chapter 2 easier. I could tell it would probably be more difficult on the harder difficulty if you aren't really prepared for being tunneled in on. In terms of the character design, the music, it all just feels very sweet, wholesome. Kind of captures that GBA feeling in a good way. It feels like its own thing, not just Fire Emblem Redux. I'm glad it's willing to do different things while also doing what I liked about the series, capturing the strategy, the turn-based strategy gameplay. It's definitely worth the purchase. I'm glad that this game did everything it needed to do for me personally. I could see it polishing up a tiny bit, but those are just little things like UI, which is not that big of a deal, but it looks great, it feels good, and I had fun, and I'm excited to play more.
Thank you for your time, Wes. Thank you for letting us know what you thought about the game. But before we go, I think I'm gonna expose you out here. It took you how long to do the second map? If I tend to recall correctly, I think it took you like an hour.
It was hard. I lost sleep thinking.
Maybe you're not as much of an expert as I gave you credit for.
Maybe,
after all.
It's maybe, but it's made by fans like us. They're a small team. It's an indie game, and it has a lot of love. We're doing this because
we want to support,
Yeah.
We want to support people doing projects like that, cool projects like that. So, if you haven't heard of Dark Deity before, check it out on Steam. We have more videos about it on the channel, so check those out. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and like the video and share with your friends, whatever else you need to do. But as always, I've been OffTrack Seb, and I've had OffTrack Wes with me.
It's been great.
We will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Goodbye.